I want to bring in Tiffany Tate, Executive Director for the Maryland Partnership for Prevention, a nonprofit that supports the state's immunization coalitions. I'm so thrilled to have you here, Tiffany. Pull back the curtain for all of our viewers on how you can even plan for something like this. What steps are you involved in right now? And what can you tell us about what it'll look like when you finally get that green light?
So thank you so much for having me. And it's a Herculean effort is what I've been calling it. We need all hands on deck. And here in Maryland, we've spent so much time preparing, but we actually have technology that is being used in 20 plus states across the country to be able to prepare electronically. We're in the 21st century now, and it makes sense to have technology that can allow people to register in advance for the vaccine, complete consent forms so that we can plan appropriately. And gearing up for that entails making sure that we've got appropriately trained clinical personnel, that they know where to show up at the right time. And so we're prepared in Maryland, and we're hoping to work with other states to be prepared as well.
Key question is part of that technology. If somebody goes online to fill out one of those forms, how are they going to know when they're eligible? Because, for example, the New York Times has this cool little thing where you go in and you put your information in and it tells you you're behind 12 million other people or something like that. Is that as part of what you're working on so that people have an easy way to know when their time is that they can go get the shots?
Yes, so we have technology called COVID Ready that allows people to pre-register to let their state know when they want to be vaccinated, because you've heard a lot of people say, oh, well, I don't want to be vaccinated right away. I want to wait. So our system allows people to indicate when they want to be vaccinated, if they want to wait a few days, weeks, or months. We also collect their health status, so we know if they have a chronic health condition, we know their age, their ethnicity, their occupation. These are all things that we're going to be using to stratify and identify who should be next in line. So if you're pre-registered, it'll be similar to getting your appointment at the dentist. I get my dental appointment for the next 6 months when I get service at that time. So I know that on March 13th, at 2 o'clock, I'm going to be having my dental appointment, and that's possible here too. You said something earlier that's very important. We've spent a lot of time focusing on the vaccine and not the vaccination, which is the process of actually getting the vaccine into arms. And that has so many different logistical issues, and many that in public health, we're not trained in that. We're trained to promote and prevent health, to promote health and prevent disease, but the logistical efforts when we need to make sure that we have the right facilities, that we have appropriate parking, that we have the right staff directing traffic, that we've got tents. If it's inclement weather, we have to make sure that we've got heaters. So many things that we're not thinking about that we need to start thinking about now. The good news is in phase one, it's a smaller population that we're vaccinating, so we still have time to prepare. We still have time to find out who's interested. We still have time to find reasonably priced clinical personnel, because right now what we were seeing earlier in the pandemic with PPE, the price gouging, that's now happening with clinical personnel. Staffing agencies are charging 3 times as much as they did before the pandemic. And those are real expenses that we need to think about, and that can bankrupt cities and municipalities across this country if we're not prepared.
Let me ask you about PPE, because one of the things that we're seeing is this report this morning that the government and the projections they had for getting enough equipment up and, everything up and running so that they would have it has fallen behind. Do you feel confident in the states where your system is in place that you're going to have the kind of equipment you need to keep the people? First of all, you got to get the people right, but to keep them safe, make sure you have, for example, enough needles. Make sure you have all of the equipment you need to keep people safe and get that vaccine distributed.
So I feel confident that states have been preparing for that. Like I said, we've been focusing on the vaccine. So in order to administer vaccine, you have to have needles and syringes and things like that. And I believe that the government is going to be providing those along with the vaccine. But the other expenses and the other things that are needed to support an effort like this, I don't know that we have the resources, and I don't know that we've had the time, the luxury of time, to be able to prepare in the way that we do, that we need to. But I'm optimistic because we are starting to have these conversations, and we do have technology that can support them. And we also we can look to the flu season, and a lot of us use different models during the flu season to prepare for COVID. So we looked at drive-through clinics and drive-up clinics, and doing that has helped us to be ready for these large numbers of people who will be seeking the vaccine in numbers, in unprecedented numbers. We've never had a response of this magnitude in our lifetime. And so to be able to vaccinate 300 million people times 2 in a short period of time, we've got to continue to view this as an all hands on deck effort. And I think you all in the media are doing a very good job communicating to people the expectations. The vaccine won't show up on Monday and everyone will be vaccinated by Friday. We need to have a very coordinated, thoughtful rollout of this effort. And folks need to understand that they may not be getting vaccinated until June or July, but that's what we have to do in order to be able to open our society back up as soon as we can.
Well, certainly we all appreciate how nonprofits like yours have stepped up and are going to be critical as we move forward in getting people vaccinated. Tiffany Tate, thank you. And thanks to all the folks who work with you, because I know you've got a Herculean task ahead of you.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.